hear what's going on. Y'all can't hear me, but now y'all can hear me. So of course we're talking about what happened with Charlie Kirk, but we're not going to talk about what happened with Charlie Kirk. I also think it's important to talk about the school shooting that happened today and how Charlie Kirk is dominating airwaves, taking away from the children, especially seeing how much policies and how much Charlie Kirk uniquely talked about doing shit and said, for doing things for children. So, without further ado, now that we got the audio fixed, because at first we had us some problems,
Spontaneous percussion.
So if you don't have empathy for Charlie Kirk, are you a bad person? If you're celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, are you a bad person? If you think that this is chickens coming home to roost, does it make you an evil person? I don't think so. Now, I'm not going to lie. The human aspect of when I first seen him get popped in the neck definitely made me be like, damn, y'all did this to this man at his own event in broad daylight. But then I started seeing all them clips of everything that he said. And it's fair to say that he's made a career out of debating people's livelihood. It's fair to say that he's made a career out of trivializing people's humanity. So now when you have people that don't have any empathy for him, especially when he said what empathy is a new age invention that get in the way of some shit, whatever he said. Right now we see a classic case of chickens coming home to roost. Something I also is pointing out is that a lot of white people expect for people of color to have empathy with white folks more than they had with more empathy with them in death than they had with us when they was alive. And it's just probably not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Condolences go to his family, to his kids, showing y'all more empathy than he would have showed anybody else. I seen a clip of him saying that George Floyd did not get killed, that he died of a fentanyl overdose. And he said it as like a matter of factly. You know what I mean? This man made a career out of manufacturing rage. He was a race baiter. He was a race baiter. And I don't think it's ironic that he got taken away talking about gun violence. In this country, we got a gun problem. White, black, liberal, conservative, leftist, moderate, alt-right. It's a gun problem in this country. And every time we was faced with a gun problem, Charlie Kirk and his major platform and having all these impressionable young white boys, he could have chosen to preserve humanity. Instead, he decided to talk about how the value of gun ownership outweighed the value of lives. And that's the reason why we in what we in right now. I see a lot of Republican officials in the media right now talking about how this is on Democrats. But they didn't have much to say when that Democratic official got assassinated in our own home in Minneapolis like 2 months ago. So we're seeing selective moral outrage that's happening, and we're also seeing that a lot of the people in MAGA, they lying through their teeth and they trying to make it as if liberal and Democrats is what control the media, man. It was 3,000 impressionable young white college students that was there to see Charlie Kirk get his head blown off in 4K. They got pushed down further in the pipe of being, I'm gonna call it being radicalized. Here's something that I posted today, man. Shout out to Feminista Jones, is what she says. Okay, he's dead. But did y'all see the size of that crowd? There were a lot of young white men who were there just had been activated. There were a lot of young white men there who just got activated. That's what we need to be thinking about. Them and all the ones across the country that follow him and support him. A bunch of odd, involuntary celibate cells ready to pop off. When everybody is celebrating and creating memes of Charlie Kirk because he definitely was a piece of shit. I'm being very mindful of all of the young 17, 18-year-olds that'll be radicalized with AK-47s. He was talking about how mass violence, mass shootings in relationship to transgender people is something that, he was sensationalizing when they asked him, do you know how many trans people have been a part of mass shootings? He said too many. Then he asked another question, and Charlie Kirk was like, this include gang violence. And in the midst of him saying gang violence, he got shot in the neck. I believe that preventative gun care, preventative gun, you know what I'm saying, control, could have definitely did something. As a Texan, I believe that people should be able to have their guns, but I don't think having your gun should come at the expense, however, of being able to preserve lives, especially because we've done so much in the name of saving lives when it comes to policies, when it comes to legislation, man. It's still a lot to be said, though, when it comes to Charlie Kirk life overshadowing a school shooting. If Charlie Kirk was alive right now and that school shooting would happen, he would have said that some casualties and some gun deaths are a part of the reality when you got to have the Second Amendment. That's what he said. He also said that Black Africans had the highest gun murder rate, but if there was a white man, they would have murdered him. I feel like there's a lot of racialization that he was doing. I went to his Twitter page and I seen that Ukrainian white woman that got, you feel me, taken away on that train. He was doing this. He was engaged in racial pathology. He was doing everything that he could to talk about Black folks being irrational, talk about Black folks being bad decision makers, and talk about Black folks being roots that we should be feared. Now, Charlie Kirk didn't have no issue talking bad about immigrants when it came to people of color. But when it came to this white woman from Ukraine, we see that Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk got all of the empathy and sympathy, all of it. This is racial pathology at play. These are conservative contradictions all at play. This man right here made a career out of talking shit about trans people, fat people, Black people, poor people, immigrants. And now that he's passed away, that his family and people that's on his side is expecting for the world to have much more empathy in his death than he had people when he was alive. And I think that's it's probably just not going to be happening. Probably not going to be happening, man. Shout out to my mutual Ariana, man. She said some shit today. I'm going to read this to y'all. It really jumped out to me. She said, hold on, so I'll go to it. I'm gonna read both tweets. She said a bulletproof vest could have not saved Charlie Kirk. He was shot in the neck. The security he had did not save or protect him. If he had a gun, it wouldn't have mattered either because he was shot. The shot was reportedly from a sniper 200 yards away. The only thing that could have helped Charlie Kirk was more gun regulation and the idea that he and his peers were vehemently against. A lot of individuals fake the funk on being some gun enthusiast, ignoring the data, ignoring there's a direct correlation between gun ownership and gun violence, how there's a direct correlation between gun ownerships and gun deaths, ignoring the unique relationship that America has when it comes to our gun culture in other countries. It's something about this right here. This is the part that they really got me right here. Shout out to Ariana Jasmine, man. She said that Charlie Kirk shooting got way more media coverage than a high school mass shooting that happened on the same day. And that tells you everything you need to know about America. It's going to be people of color and other minorities that's going to be magnetizing violence because some white folks is pissed off that Charlie Kirk got killed. That's the sad reality. The sad reality is that when white folks wage violence against each other, it's not seen as white on white crime. It's not going to be sensationalized to put on the whole group of white folks either. But when a Black person does something, that's what you see. We know, though, that when this assailant gets out, Betty White, may she rest in peace, we know that the individual that did this is probably a white person. Pay attention to how the media talks about it, but also think about how so many little white boys right now is thirsting for blood. I've seen many different TikToks and many different videos on Twitter being like, y'all asked for this shit. I don't want y'all coming for it. It's the reason why I had the humanistic response of being like, God damn, gun violence bad in every instance. Whether I like you or think you're a piece of shit or whether I think you're a demon, I think gun violence is bad. But I'm not going to negate that this man made a career out of talking about gun violence being a necessary evil to have to have the Second Amendment. I'm not going to ignore that. Can't ignore it at all. Saying right here, the long road home said, I understand your principles. I support them, but I think that we're trying to address the same enemy with two different sides of the room. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you're trying to address the same enemy. I'm not sure what you're referring to at all. But I will say that when it comes to Charlie Kirk and the rest of the Musketeers and maggots, I don't think that we have the same enemy. I think that a lot of them view me, my family, and people on my side of the aisle as the enemy. And I think that's the reason why Charlie Kirk was so enthusiastically ready to debate about gun violence and trans folks, because he understood that these were the groups that seen as being disposable and exposable, and that he was going to be able to justify the extermination. That's the reason why he was able to trivialize their lives, you know. And that's what they get into, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what that is, man. We will see if they pivot a MAGA Turning Point USA into a Zionist MAGA Point Turning USA. The youngest conservative demographic is falling out of favor in his. I don't know, Zach. I'm not sure if the youngest conservative demographic is falling out of whack. I think the data shows me that the conservatives are actually winning the young demographic and Democrats are losing it. I think that's something we can have a conversation about. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to explore it in its totality in this fly particularly, but I think there's a lot of conversation that we can get into about how Democrats are uniquely losing a lot of young folks and uniquely losing more and more voters every time we have an election, and how Republicans are gaining them. And that's the reason why Charlie Kirk was able to have 3,000 people at his rally. I'm from Bryan, Texas. I went to College Station, Texas A&M University, where Charlie Kirk was at, and I seen him pulling out all generations there. You know what I'm saying? From the grandmother to the great-grandson, to the aunties, to the little cousins, to the person that didn't have a GPA high enough to get into Texas A&M University, to the person that's probably in the top 25% of Texas A&M University. Charlie Kirk had an ability to appeal to a lot of bigots, a lot of individuals that had dispositions about Black people, about trans people, about poor people, about immigrants. They found a home on Charlie Kirk's, you know what I'm saying, platforms, because he was able to really play into that shit. And that's the reason why you got so many people that's mourning him right now, is because they were able to identify with his race baiting, penny hustling, making his white slave master ancestors proud. That's what he was into. And that's the reason why so many of us don't really have respect for him in death, because we have respect for him in life. You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, if a person didn't give a damn about you when you was when you was above ground, when they put you up under there, we don't care about it either. You know, it just, to me, just should serve as an example for a lot of times what you put out in the earth, you will get back to you, whether you like it or not. And I think that Charlie Kirk believed that he was untouchable. You know what I mean? I wish it wouldn't have happened to him. I would have loved to have intellectually beat the brakes off of him a couple of times, you know what I'm saying, face to face. But hey, you know, shit happens. You know, shit happens, man. You know, hate is very popular. I agree with you, Doc B. Hate is so popular. Hate is so popular that I seen, what's her name? Mace, white one Mace. I seen her talking about how the person that did this to Charlie Kirk was a Democrat, and Democrats gotta own it. I made a video about the person doing it being white. Now, we don't know who did it. We don't have an individual being held accountable for it, but I feel in my heart of hearts, it's a white person that did it, and in her heart of hearts, it's a Democrat. Both of these things could be true, but what I think is very important to point out is that the individuals that's going to be seen as collateral for folks to be able to prove a point, it's going to be Black people, man. You know, it's not Charlie Kirk putting those people out. There was tons of money invested into him by oligarchs who would never invest in someone on the left. And this is the conversation right here that we got to have when it comes talking about dark money as well. Is that it's a lot of money that's in this game that's going to never go to folks on the left. It's going to always go to them folks on the right. And that's how they able to really tank influence. That's how they really able to cause a disproportionate impact on funding. And that funding always able to impact the influence. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I advocating for folks to take dark money? Not really. But I do think that we should be mindful that saying all dark money is bad got some bad implications on certain people. But the system is a system, man. The system is a system. And goddamn it, Charlie Kirk definitely benefited from a lot of dark money. You know, the removal of Charlie Kirk so near 9/11 was the warning of MAGA. Oh, man, I ain't think about that. Whew. Today is September 10th. Tomorrow is September the 11th. Man. It's man. Shout out to my other, you know what I'm saying, my homegirl, Rashonda, man. Let me see tell y'all what she put. Rashonda said, I want you all to stop calling what happened today political violence and just call it gun violence. He did not hold an office, nor is he running for an office. Hate and racism is not political stance. Whether you are a Democratic or Republican, gun violence is what it is. Though I understand what she's trying to say, I would say that gun violence is always inherently political. And I would say you don't have to have a political office to have something happen to you be political. But I do think that she's right, that he should not be elevated, you feel me, in the way that folks trying to elevate him. And I also find it funny too how white Republicans use the word activist. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk is seen as an activist, and activism in this instance is seen as being good, but in the other instance, it's seen as some bad shit. That's something that's really it's kind of odd to me. That's very odd. You know, what we'll say though is that you reap what you sow. And Charlie Kirk had the freedom. He had the freedom of speech. He had the right to protest. He had the right to express himself and say whatever he wanted to say. And saying what he wanted to say, he did a lot of vile, inhumane, demonic things. So if you think people celebrating his death is vile, inhumane, or demonic, you get what you reap what you sow, man. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. Like it's a lot of like I feel like if I was to just go to my Twitter, let's go to my Twitter real fast. Actually, let's go to Twitter and let's just pull up some of the things that's on my Twitter page, man. I'm sure if I go to Threads, it'll be some crazy shit too. Let's see. Let's see, man. This is a Wednesday night episode of Research of a MESEARCH. Every Wednesday night, I'll be going live. Preferably trying to go live at 9 p.m. Central, but today we was on CP time a little bit because actually CP time really was having some difficulties. You know what I'm saying? Difficulties got up in the way. But yeah, let's see what
Joy Reid and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee and Ketanji Brown Jackson were affirmative action.
Do we think that it's ironic that he's naming all black people? He naming all black people in this. Do we find it ironic? I don't find it ironic at all. But let's keep it going.
Picks. We would have been called the racist. But now they're coming out and they're saying it for us. They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously. You had to go steal a white person's slot to go be taken somewhat seriously. Play cut.
I mean, he's engaging in black inferiority, like textbook anti-blackness, saying that these black women has had to work 20 times harder to get significantly less than what all the white folks have in his family is dumb, unqualified. It's showing you the type of indoctrination this man was pushing. So excuse any of the black people uniquely, especially black women, that feel like, fuck this guy.
52.
But I rise today as a clear recipient of affirmative action, and particularly in higher education. I may have been admitted on affirmative action, both in terms of being a woman and a woman of color, but I can declare that I did not graduate on affirmative action. This is my personal story.
I hear because of action affirmative. She can't even say that. We know. It's very obvious to us that you were not smart enough to be able to get in on your own. I couldn't make it on my own, so I needed to take opportunities from someone more deserving.
I mean, just think about this. So we're still in slots now, but he's not racist. Yes, he is. He's saying what we aren't smart to do enough, and we are. Like he's saying, man, I can't even read right now because I want to live up to the racial pathology Buddy said. Buddy said Ketanji Brown Jackson is the most qualified Supreme Court justice that we have, goddamn. And this man saying she not qualified? I can only imagine how Joy Reid feels. Shout out to, you know what I'm saying, big sis Joy Reid. I can only imagine how you feel right now because this man is running your name through the mud, Joy.
You know, this is how arrogant Joy Reid and Ketanji Brown Jackson and Michelle Obama and Sheila Jackson Lee are. They're so narcissistic, they think this is persuasive. They think we're like, oh, of course. That's why we need affirmative action, because you have impressed us with your brilliance.
These folks always love to bring up affirmative action as if this shit is in a vacuum. The reason why affirmative action was a thing is because for a long time, this country practiced exclusion, where they rejected and excluded individuals that were qualified, but based off of their race, they were disqualified. So this whole idea that Charlie Kirk and the rest of the rejects have, that affirmative action means folks wasn't qualified, it actually means the contrary. It means that even though I was qualified, folks still tried to get me up out of there because I was black or because I was a woman. To me, it's always crazy is that Charlie Kirk, somebody that didn't have the accolades or the admissions process to get into any university here, but he got kicked out of junior college, was able to go travel the country and make millions of dollars, all because he's seen as being a great white intellectual that engages in pseudo-intellectual tactics, calling it debate. But he didn't even graduate from high school. You feel me? I mean, but he didn't graduate from college, I mean. And yeah, he has the gall, the caucasity to sit here, and I'm talking about trivialize some of the most qualified black women that come from our community.
Of course. Oh no, imagine the world without Joy Reid.
Oh no, imagine a world without Charlie Kirk. That's the reason why folks is so salty. Listen to what he's saying.
Imagine the world without Sheila Jackson Lee or Michelle Obama or Ketanji Brown Jackson. They think this is persuasive. They think as they kind of now reveal that I'm only here because of anti-white, anti-Asian forced discrimination policies. That turned me into a bitter, resentful activist that hates white people, honestly, through our
Talking about what? Now I got somebody coming in my comment section talking about, bro, you too ghetto for this. You must be one of the people that Charlie Kirk put a battery in your back, huh? I'm talking about.
Gosh damn it! Use your freaking words as they're talking to you people! Who shot Charlie Kirk? I'm driving down a Provo right now! I'm so pissed! Damn it! Violence!
On my mama, when white men get mad, shit happens. So, you know what I'm saying? Be clear.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a...
Hey, listen. There was a mass shooting today. Donald Trump is using his position in office to not talk about the mass shooting, but talk about Charlie Kirk, who made a career out of being vile and being hateful.
A college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people.
He fought for liberty. Hold on, he fought for what?
Democracy, justice, and the American people.
Liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. According to who? According to who? Not the black people that he was trying to justify being policed crazy. Not the immigrants that he was trying to justify being criminalized, that it's wanted to come here and live that same safety and freedom that the Ukrainian woman did. Who the hell are you talking about?
He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open...
Hey, I think it was like 17,000 signatures that wanted Charlie Kirk, that was trying to stop Charlie Kirk from coming to the campus. Like 17,000, I believe.
Debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was...
Before I let the rest of this clip play, I want to say this respectfully. Donald Trump, you probably gonna be debating with Charlie in hell real soon, man. Like I'm almost positive that Charlie Kirk is not in heaven; he's in hell, and that he's debating with Ronald Reagan, and you know, all the rest of them, all the rest of them. It's we with right now.
Also a man of deep, deep faith. And we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God.
Donald Trump gave a 4-minute speech about Charlie Kirk. 4 minutes? I can't guarantee I'm listening to this whole 4 minutes, but I listen to a shot for a little bit.
God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the 2 young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into
good faith debate. Good faith debate. This man engaged in whataboutisms and shallow argument development where he was able to just really say a whole bunch of fallacies. This man engaged in straw man argumentations, red herrings. What?
the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst.
Fam, you're a Nazi, Donald Trump. You're a Nazi right now trying to take up and deflect for another Nazi. As a matter of fact, you and your people talked about how y'all embrace the word Nazi. As a matter of fact, y'all are so goddamn insidious. Y'all will embrace Nazism by saying it's an American freedom. You know what I'm saying? Freedom of speech and all those shit. And then chuck up with the Israeli motherfuckers talking about anti-Semitism being bad. You know what I mean? That's how insidious conservatism is in this country. You will say it is their right to have a Ku Klux Klan. You feel me? It's their right to have a swastika. At the same time, you would say it's not a Black American right to be able to speak truth to power about the real shit this country done did. Hey, what I find crazy is that Supreme Court just allowed for ICE to be able to racially profile people based off their skin color. The same Supreme Court that said that we should not be able to use skin color for emissions. And now we got Donald Trump using all these dog whistles for this white man trying to condemn, quote unquote, anti-white, this, that, and the other at the same time. You've allowed for the Supreme Court to engage in racial profiling. Charlie Kirk was alive right now. He would say what Supreme Court did is good. Yeah, I hope they're fighting with Hitler right now.
Mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and
he did not have this energy when the Democratic elected official in Minneapolis, 2 of them got attempted assassinations on them. One of the assassinations was successful. This happened to an elected official, somebody that Donald Trump is supposed to see as one of his colleagues, his compadre. You feel me? He ain't say that shit. You know what I'm saying? Talking about people, if you go after judges and this man said he was going after all Democrats. You ain't say shit. You ain't say shit. They engaging in white on white crime. Nobody is putting this on the entirety of the white community. But that Black man, Charlie Kirk yesterday was engaged in rhetoric that made every Black person hold culpable for what this one deranged Black man did on this damn train. That's what he was doing. That's what he was doing yesterday, literally. engaging in anti-black rhetoric, trying to capitulate into narrative, saying that, look, here goes the Black Lives Matter, saying this person should have done this. He was engaging in culture wars. This man, y'all, the people that say they hate race hustlers fund race hustle the most. The folks that say they hate race baiting be the folks that be race fishing the most. Man, I don't even want to hear nothing else about Donald Trump. Donald Trump, you can go to hell, my boy. You can go to hell with what your buddy.
Michelle Obama and
We already seen that.
For the death of innocence cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble.
Can you tell me what African countries currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not an idiot.
What Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. When everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you supported as corrupt.
Difference.
You will have to reckon with that.
Difference
Mr. Kirk.
is when
Justification.
Telling y'all, man, this man wasn't good. Like, what they gonna talk about up in here?
Right. Why don't you start with the President of the United States? Right? And every ugly meme he has posted and every ugly word. Oh, please.
Telling you, man, just when you great. Oh no. Damn. Boy, trying to show y'all that. We're gonna make sure we delete that out the thing.
His wife and children were in attendance, dude. Imagine, you know, imagine being a 12-year-old, you know, watching your dad fucking die.
This country that we live in, man, it's like this where we at. This where the country at, man. I agree. This is definitely a product of Trump, MAGA, and being able to engage in divisive rhetoric, not recognizing that when you create a climate that makes it conducive, you know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, crazy. You know, we got somebody right here. Shut the fuck up about America, about a civil war in Africa. You colonial powers of Europe and the United States have been committing genocide after genocide in all of Africa, the Middle East, Asia, and South America, 500 plus years. Yeah, imagine your dad being a Nazi, man. Imagine your dad being a Nazi. That's you know. When I was in college, I learned about the concept of whiteness and how whiteness, you know, is, I remember what the card said, it's a synergistic systems of norms, unchecked beliefs, modalities, and perspectives that believes that white is the most powerful when it goes invisible and goes unidentified. And when it comes to just talking about white on white crime or immigration or empathy or humanity, white people are able to get away with trivializing, especially white people like Charlie Kirk, with being able to trivialize all these concepts with a smile on their face and still being seen as good people. I don't think Charlie Kirk was a good person. I don't. And, you know, Say, man, I don't know. I ain't got no solidarity with Charlie Kirk. I did initially feel sorry for bro when I seen how he got how he got done, but then just shit. Seeing that clip, seeing what he said to that black woman about Twitter. About George Floyd, made words like, damn. Now I feel like you can't be on Twitter because that money shot was crazy. Oh, we got another video right here. Let's see. This ain't nothing crazy right here, y'all. This was let's see. So we got. See what we got here. All right, I ain't watched it yet, but we just watching these clips live.
Political radicalism needs a catalyst. Political radicalism does not come out of peace, prosperity, rising wages, stable families, church attendance, and happy people. Happy people, grateful people do not get behind Vladimir Lenin, and they certainly don't get behind Chavez or Castro.
That's right.
People that own nothing, that feel like their property is diminishing, or they don't have property, or their dollar is diminishing in value, they start to look for alternatives. And so the political project in front of us as conservatives should be, how do we actually de-radicalize the country in the next couple of years? That's my obsession.
Your obsession was de-radicalizing the country by radicalizing young, teenage, impressionable kids with a bunch of oppressive arguments. What in the George Orwellian doublespeak is going on here? De-radicalize.
That's why I say I try not to think about all this other stuff, because it just, it's so much brain space. My number one obsession is I know what is coming next. Political radicalism needs a...
Right.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal. I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year, so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
Man. Charlie Kirk says gun deaths unfortunately worth it to keep the Second Amendment. I imagine that anybody that loved and cared for Charlie Kirk can't even be on the internet right now because they're being reminded of all of the brass, horrible things this man said when he was alive. What? Like, man, boy. Man. What's this one?
I'll be damned. Who did it? I want to talk to him. I want to take him out to eat. Matter of fact. Actually, he probably, or she probably, and it was a he. They're probably in custody right now. Alive. Probably. Ain't he the one that said that gun deaths are necessary if they want to keep their Second Amendment right?
Folks, do not forget, you know what I'm saying? The historical archive cannot be erased. Even if you erase the video, people remember what you said. People remember what you said, man. And it's just like, I know Donald Trump is going to use this to create some type of backlash, to fuel some type of obscure thing. Tomorrow, September 11th, we still have people, talking about Charlie Kirk, not about the students that happened in Colorado. And you'll have people still pissed off and mad, saying, fuck you, Charlie Kirk. And we got to think about, what did he say and do to make it where people don't even care about letting him rest in peace and death? What did he say and do? Did people just wake up and decide they were going to do and treat Charlie Kirk like this? Or was something done to them? Did Charlie Kirk create a climate that allowed for folks to be like, fuck you?
Fuck you. And he said that about children who were shot at school. He can rest in motherfucking shit. And I don't want to hear anything about, oh, well, hate doesn't do anything. Violence is never the answer. Violence has been the answer in all of fucking history. I don't want to hear a single white person tell me that violence is not the answer when they have been using violence to get whatever the fuck they want.
Man, I got the Ouija board ready. Anyone got questions for Charlie Kirk? Man. I feel like if I wasn't raised the way I was raised, I would engage with you playing with that. You know what I'm saying, with that Ouija board, but we ain't got time. We don't play like that, man. Shout out to you for the chat. Shout out to you for the, you know what I'm saying. We ain't got time though, bro. We don't do that. We ain't got time, man. We don't play with those. We don't play with those. We made a huge mistake when we passed the Civil Rights Act in the 1960s. That's what we're saying right now. It's like, if you're able to say that we should not have legislation that gave black folks freedom, don't expect for black folks to try to, you know what I'm saying, celebrate your life like you were that welcoming to us. You believe that the Civil Rights Act of 1960 was a mistake. You believe the mere black presence of bodies on the campus that you was at, as long as they didn't have nothing like the athlete, you probably thought that didn't belong. That was seen as affirmative action. See, I'm 34 years old, and when I realized Charlie Kirk was only 31, he was younger than me. I thought, like, damn, boy, all that hatred and resentment that you got built up in you is making you look old, it's aging you. And look where we at now, man. Look where we at now.
As oppressors since the beginning of time. Nothing has ever been done in the history of the world without violence and bloodshed. And it's always like Christians who are saying like violence isn't the answer. Have you read your motherfucking Bible, ho? Because
violence isn't the answer, but we've seen the things that he was saying when it came to the Palestinian states and violence and how he tried to justify that as being merely an act of war. When George H.W. Bush died, I seen a lot of people also on the right saying that we should have some dignity and integrity for individuals that's dead, and we should respect the dead, and we should also have some type of, you know, some type of sense and sanity for it. Like, nah. To me, when I seen that Saddam Hussein or Osama bin Laden was murdered, one of them, I think it was Osama bin Laden, I was in the airport. And I remember seeing all the people celebrate Osama bin Laden being dead because they felt like he was an evil man that only brought destruction to the earth. So they believed that him being gone would be good because now he would not be able to bring destruction to the earth. A lot of us like to think about engaging in debates that's in good faith and this, that, and the other. But words is violence. It's a reason why you can't say certain words in certain places because it's going to bring about, you know what I'm saying, shit, somebody snap, cracking and popping upside your head. When you're debating somebody's livelihood or you debating their sanity or you saying that humanity don't matter, that's violent. Very violent act. And until society realizes that we've normalized a lot of violent rhetoric, we're going to continue to get these violent conclusions because the climate that we have is filtered and fueled by violence. And that's what we at. That's what we at, man. A white man can get killed by a white man and it get talked about as mental health and shit like that. A black man kill a Ukrainian woman, it's just seen as black crazy man. You know what I'm saying? All of us crazy. So who cares about that individual's mental health? A white man get killed by more than likely got killed by the white man, and we're gonna see how it gets spent. We're gonna see how it gets spent. We gonna see how.
Hey, Charlie, that motherfucker go. Yeah. Straight to your neck, nigga. Yeah. Bitch ass nigga. Fuck out of here, bro. Talking all that fucking shit. Talk all that shit now, fuck nigga. Dead bitch, neck open, nigga. Can't do no more throwing. Fuck that nigga, Charlie. Now he dead. Put him in the ocean. Fuck that nigga wife and his friends. Y'all some racist bitches talking this and that. Cause we black and then somebody blissed them. Get up, Charlie. Come on, Charlie. Get up, Charlie.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Democrats own what happened today. I am devastated. My kids have called panicking. They probably, all the kids of every conservative in the country call panicking. Just because you speak your mind on an issue doesn't mean you get shot.
Then, by that logic, do Republicans own the shooting of the 2 Democratic lawmakers in Minnesota?
Political.
Isn't this on both?
This the video I was talking about right here. This the video I was talking about right here. This the one. This the one.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm asking.
We don't know what condition Charlie Kirk is in right now. Some raging leftist lunatic.
Hey, one of my issues is that these folks be so politically illiterate, they lack the ability to read and write the difference between a leftist and a liberal. It be a whole bunch of liberal libs y'all be calling leftists, and real leftists be getting mad at y'all doing that shit. You feel me? Y'all call Kamala Harris a Marxist, and it's like, man, this woman ain't even no goddamn Marx. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a lot of the rhetoric and words that Republicans throw around. They know that their constituents and their audience don't know what the hell it is, but they eat their words, every word that comes from their lips. And that's the reason why she's saying this. Hey, these Republicans got every trigger happy, bloodthirsty young Republican looking to spin the block and retaliate. And when you got people like this talking, she know what she's doing.
Put a bullet through his neck, and you want to talk about Republicans right now? No.
No, I'm asking
not at all.
You said the Democrats
no, this is on.
But
the Democrats own this.
But isn't there a problem with political violence?
Peep game. When law enforcement takes out a black person, we have to wait for an official investigation for us to get the real facts. Nobody has been arrested yet. We don't know who did this yet. She not waiting for an investigation. She not waiting for the facts to come out. She not waiting for authorities to go view some camera footage, because we all seen it with our own eyes. These Republicans showing y'all they have the ability to see shit with their own eyes and then make their own conclusions. When we get brutalized on camera, we got to wait for somebody to adjudicate what happened for us. Innocent to proven guilty? Nah, she automatically is throwing this shit on radical leftists. They did the same thing when Donald Trump almost had that assassination attempt, you know what I'm saying, succeed on him. Leftist, liberal, Democrat, it was one of your own people that did that shit. One of your own Republicans that shot Donald Trump, and y'all blame leftists and y'all blame liberals. And what we see right now, I'm not going to be surprised when it comes out that is a white Republican conservative, somebody that's been registered as a Republican, you know what I'm saying? But even this though, even if you're a Democrat, going on and call it white on white crime. Go on and engage in some of that racial pathology I put on niggas when it comes to when we do stuff with each other. You see what I'm saying? We don't want to hear nothing about the approximation now. We tell y'all, hey, man, if you live in the hood, it's more likely for you to create violence and commit violence with somebody that is in the hood because you don't go across town to commit violence. Y'all don't do that. Y'all don't do that. Just man.
Across the spectrum.
Yeah, we're talking about Charlie Kirk right now. That's the subject of
Nancy
this
Mays.
that we're talking about right now. Democrats.
What? Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a non.
The look on this man's face. He's Palestinian. Palestinians and Palestine has been a bad word to use for majority of our life because they've been trying to erase their sovereignty and their livelihood within Gaza, within the West Bank. That's the reason why they want to call them Gazans and not Palestinians, because they believe what Charlie Kirk believed. It never existed. To tell somebody that is going through displacement, that's being ethnically cleansed because of their land, to tell them their land never existed is violent. Look at his face right there. Look at this face.
Existent place.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna.
That's why we're on different planets, right? But what is the national identity of Palestine? Educate me.
Palestinians.
What is that?
Like, what do you mean? What is that?
Yeah, what?
This man made a career off of challenging the humanity and livelihood of other people. And now y'all want to chastise folks for not caring about his livelihood? Man, you better come off the damn high horse.
What ethnicity are they?
Arabs?
Okay, so all Arabs are Palestinians?
No, but they are Arabs. What you trying to say? What is your point?
I'm trying to say, because at what point does somebody become a Palestinian?
When he was born in Palestine, or if his parents are Palestinians?
Again, this is why we're talking past each other.
What you trying to say?
I don't think the place exists.
What?
Because it doesn't. It's called Judea and Samaria. It's not called Palestine.
You don't believe that Palestine have the right to exist?
No, everyone has a right to exist. Show me where it is. It's a...
On camera for almost a decade now. Exactly, girl. Exactly. We have been watching Palestinians get shot, starved, bombed, all different types of shit on camera for the past 2 years. So if you want me to feel bad for that bitch, I shan't. I won't. I can't.
And that's the reality, man.
Empathy, actually, I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but I can't stand the word empathy, actually. I think empathy is a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, but...
Telling you, man, just... Oh, no, not the headshot again.
The Oval Office, you should wear a suit and tie. That's my own personal perspective. I understand his country's at war. That's just a little bit of a nitpicking, I'll be honest. I think that if you go into the sacred, and I've had the honor to go in the Oval Office a couple times, I think you should dress up in a suit and tie. I think it's just a basic common courtesy. But that's not the bigger issue. The bigger issue is that Zelensky in that meeting, we believe, and I encourage you to watch all 40 minutes. You have, good. It started pretty tepid and then it heated up. And outside of Vice President Vance's back and forth on did you say thank you, there was this kind of insistence on Zelensky saying, no, we really don't want peace. We really don't, like, the idea of peace was almost a non-negotiable.
I mean, I think he views it, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine, please.
I feel like he views it as a surrender, and I think that's a fair position for him to take.
Yeah, well, so he has a choice. And America then has a choice. So Zelensky can keep on fighting. Here's some facts. The average age of a Ukrainian military member is 43 years old. They have basically destroyed the young men of their country. There's hundreds of thousands of young men that have died, millions that have fled their nation. The average age is 43. So they're doing conscripts of people in their late 40s and early 50s to go to the front lines. It's a meat grinder. So he can keep that.
What has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end.
Hey, just like when Donald Trump is denying people of their health care, when he's taking away free lunches, when he's taking away the ability to even access just quality things, that's political violence, man. When we see children being ripped away from their parents, when we see everyday working people being ambushed at immigration court hearings, that's violence. I don't like that political violence. The concept has been sensationalized because a white man got, got violence being put against him. When we sensationalize these old like big landmark type violences against people like Charlie Kirk, we camouflage the everyday political violence happening to everyday people. You see what I'm saying? It's some everyday folks that ain't got the following of Charlie Kirk. They don't have a lot of dark money like Charlie Kirk. They don't have the attention of the president like Charlie Kirk, but they experiencing political violence. I live here in Texas. In Texas, from Brownsville all the way up to the Panhandle and Amarillo, all the way up to Lubbock, all the way from El Paso, all the way to Texarkana, these folks experiencing political violence here in my state. So I don't get why Charlie Kirk get to be more, special in his political violence than anybody else will be. Especially when he'll be the one that make a couple dollars off of trivializing and pathologizing said political violence. And it's just like shit. That's just what it is, man. This is what it is. You know what I mean? Engage with the comments. The same thing with the admin member. If DC big balls, yeah, definitely. Now, what's no best for that? Hell no, we're no best for that. Hell no, we're no best for that at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to engage.
Congresswoman, what message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment? What message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media?
You know, beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action, and we need to talk about, yes, there are words, but most importantly, we are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people.
So is it the guns yet? Are we ready to be done with this yet? Is Republican Senator Mike Lee gonna make jokes about this, like he did when Melissa Hortman and her family were murdered in their fucking home? Is JD...
Hey, and Melissa Hortman is the lawmaker in Minneapolis who lost their lives in their home. Just so we're clear.
Vance gonna call this a fact of life, and Donald Trump gonna tell us we just need to move on, like they do when little innocent children have their lives stolen from them while they're in fucking school. Because I would bet my left fucking kidney that is not what's going to happen, and that the Republican response to this will not be clamoring for gun control. So here's what I have to say on the matter. Gun violence is indiscriminate, and you know what else it is? It's fucking preventable. No. Like every other civilized country on the face of the fucking planet has done? Because would it shock you to know that in the midst of all this shit with Charlie Kirk in Utah, where, by the way, it's perfectly legal for an 18-year-old to concealed carry a firearm on a public university campus. Can't see any issue with that. Anyway, would it shock you to know that in Colorado there was another shooting that left 3 students in critical fucking condition? Like 2 weeks ago, there were children who had their lives stolen while they were praying. It's the fucking guns.
It's the guns, man. It's the guns. And if you can't see that it's the guns, then you got a problem, man. If you think books can turn people gay, but guns don't kill people, people kill people, your math ain't math and your logic is pretty shitty. George Bush probably left you behind. That's what it is, man. But what we got to also acknowledge is that this is white on white crime. White on white privilege allows for white individuals to always already be seen as individuals. Never have to be held culpable for what the individual did or what the group is doing. If a wallet comes up stolen at the HBCU, goddamn it, the entire HBCU is held culpable of being able to steal that thing. You know, right now, we're not going to see ICE racially profile white men for being mass shooters. We're not going to see law enforcement racially profiling white men for being mass shooters. We have seen Supreme Court and ICE and law enforcement justify racial profiling when it comes to Latino people. This country is so lost in the sauce of race and racism, it can't even see past its own hand. This was a race hustler, a race baiter that was able to make buku of money playing in folks' face, pissing on them, telling them it's raining and laughing at it. Yeah, people ain't got no empathy for him. Paul Walker, all you do is live to see his color. Just like white people blow my mind with this colorblind bullshit. You did not say anything about color when Donald Trump was letting them white South Africans come here. You ain't say shit about color when you seen this black man being goddamn trivialized for being a crazy man for killing that Ukrainian woman. So anytime race get evoked for white folks to make y'all feel uncomfortable, it's an inconvenience. But anytime y'all could use race to make some type of point, all of a sudden you become a goddamn racial expert. We don't want to hear that, man. This might not be the lie for you either. This might not be the lie for you. And also, too, I'm not a lib. So with that being said, fuck you, fuck the libs, fuck Israel. You know what I'm saying? Fuck John McCain while I'm at it. You know what I mean? Fuck Ronald Reagan. Both for the George Bushes. You know what I mean? We can just keep on going. Like, we ain't got to. I think that a lot of you Republicans, a lot of you white Republicans specifically, y'all so lost in the sauce of bipartisan politics that if we start talking politics, the only thing you can do is start talking about the opposition. You don't understand that I have a structural analysis for how this country is fucked off, and how when we're talking about the left wing or the right wing, we understand that you have an insatiable appetite for killing niggas and locking us up. That's what I know. That's what I know. Whether we're talking about a red state or a blue state, y'all both like to lock up niggas. And we also know too, y'all might disagree. The libs and the conserves, y'all disagree, except for when it comes to bombing Palestinians. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to hear none of that bullshit about no libs, I don't want to hear that shit. You see what I'm saying? I'm a political independent. I believe in the independence for black people to be able to determine our own destinies politically, socially, economically. That's all I want to hear about. If you want to have any arguments towards me, make arguments towards my independent stance for black folks. I don't want to hear none of your recycled, you feel me, rinsed and repeated speaking points about libs. Missy with that bullshit, man. Missy with that bullshit. Got time for that. Whatever. Then it's always the anonymous cowards that have the most to say, man. The internet has allowed for a lot of y'all to throw rocks and hide y'all hands. In the hood I came from, we ain't never respected that at all. That's the reason why a lot of y'all overgrown, anonymous, having ass pages be in the comment sections. Y'all be obsessed with minorities, specifically black folks, saying what's on their mind because y'all want to police us. And that's the reason why y'all love Charlie Kirk so much. Y'all love Charlie Kirk because y'all felt like he was intellectually disarming folks with logic, when in actuality, all he was doing is engaging in illogic. And y'all was eating that shit up. And now that he's dead, you in my comment section now, you think that the Holy Ghost of Charlie Kirk gonna be able to anoint you for being in my comment section? It ain't gonna do shit for you. You think the ghost of Charlie Kirk gonna come and bless you? You know what I'm saying? With some shit because you're in my comment section? It gonna happen as well. You're better off moving around, man. You're better off moving around. You feel me? As a matter of fact, what you could do is send some flowers to his family or something instead of bothering me on my live stream. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want to do that, man. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to hear it at all. If anything, my family in the LGBT community wants to know how come y'all ain't up in arms about the kids actually having violence against them. When they have symbolic shit going on towards them, the damn drag queens reading at them in story hour, or some LGBTQ shit that came through a book, or it's critical race theory, y'all have all the up in arms talking about the violence towards the kids. But the kids start getting hit with bullets in the classroom, you ain't got nothing to say about that. You feel me? Charlie Kirk probably said a whole bunch of weird, crazy, pedophile conspiracy theories about the LGBT community. But kids get shot up in the goddamn schoolhouse. He says that in order for us to have gun ownership, there's going to be some gun deaths. And now that he is the individual that it has been, their life been taken away because of a gun death, I posted, man, come on, man. Yeah, yeah, I need some mods, man. I need some mods. We're going to get some mods, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm like, what about the kids? What about the kids, man? And it's like, they don't care about the kids. The kids are just seen as a permutable tool that they can wage their cultural wars in. Charlie Kirk was raging in cultural wars yesterday, talking about that black man that killed that woman on that, I'm saying that Ukrainian woman on that train. Today, his death is being folded within the cultural wars, talking about how the Democrats and libs, this, that, and the other. And it's just, you know, and at the end of the day, that's what we're seeing right here, man. Another Epstein distraction. But sadly, the news cycle in America happens so fast that by tomorrow at 3 o'clock, it's probably going to be something else that's happened. And it's going to be past Charlie Kirk. Matter of fact, tomorrow, 9/11. So a lot of us is going to be, I'm going to be thinking about all of the individuals that's lost their lives as a result of America retaliating from what 19 individuals did. And I'm going to really be thinking about tomorrow about how collective punishment, being able to drop sulfur, really a whole bunch of different international war crimes was committed by the American government from 2021 all the way up until when Biden pulled him out of Afghanistan. And it's just like, yeah, that's the reason why so many Americans have trouble, like Charlie Kirk did when it comes to seeing what happens to Palestinians. Hey, we was down with America bombing the entirety of Arab Middle East, bombing entire countries based off of somebody having a weapon of mass destruction, based off of Osama bin Laden hiding in a cave. That's the reason why they can go bomb schools and say Hamas was there. That's the same playbook that America did. That's what we think about tomorrow. 9/11, thinking about how 9/11 created a great way of Islamophobia, the fear and discrimination against people who have the religion of Islam, how it did a great job of manufacturing Islamophobia, 9/11. A lot of folks is going to talk about how, you know what I'm saying, September 12th brought a lot of unity to this country. And I'm going to think about how September 12th brought a lot of fear to folks that had on different type of hijabs. You feel me? I'm talking about people that were Sikh. You ain't even Muslim, you Sikh. And because you have this head wrap on, individuals view you as a common enemy. So while folks is engaging in romanticized narratives about 9/11 and how it brought all the Americans together, I'm going to be thinking about a lot of Palestinians, uniquely Palestinian Americans that got put their life, that that's put in fear because of 19 individuals. And I come back to this old mass shooting shit. So 19 Arab people was able to get the entire world to wage war against a religion in a region. But a white man after white man after white man can shoot up a movie, schoolhouse, church, grocery store, and they still seen as transcendental beings that has the ability to act individually and rationally regardless of what data says. But hey, your name Hector, Jesus, Jose, yeah, Supreme Court justified you being racially profiled. This the country we live in, man. All this shit go around too, man. All this shit go around. Who put some on the grill, man? I'm trying to put some on the grill, actually. You know what I'm saying? Jesus did not save his ass. No, Jesus did not save his ass. Can't say Charlie Kirk didn't stand on it. Oh, he definitely stood on it. Huh. I just like engaging people like this today. I don't know why. Stop it, bro. You're being anti-white. I ain't got time, man. I ain't got time, man. Let's see what they're talking about on Threads. I'm engaging with the comment section as well, y'all. Let me see, man. Also, every Thursday night, come to the live stream every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Central. Subscribe to my Substack. We can have more conversations. And if I haven't said any research or any released any stats, but in the future, if you ever hear me give any stats or read any academic literature, you're gonna always be able to get access to that on my Substack. Subscribe to the Substack, man. Education is elevation. Research over MESEARCH. And you know, it is what it is, man. Shout out to you, Bryce Edwards. Say in other news, order my conservative t-shirt. Hey, do me a favor too, man. Go to the website, theconsciously.com, and grab you some merch, man. I got this cool hat right here. You feel me? I got it in a few different colors, you know. Got the shirt that say Education is Elevation as well. Do me a favor, check that out. To be honest with you, I don't know what anti-white is. Like to this day, I don't know what it is. Fuck it. You could be anti-white. Just don't write it off the whole fucking people as being probably having more in common than we're not. What? Hey, man. Shout out to everybody on TikTok right now, too. I don't know. I can't see y'all comments yet, so we're going to see how to get that on. Oh, let's see. Bam. The comments right there. Comments right here. Comments is on the screen now, man. Orange man, am I lying? To say it's difficult. Stop with the damn mass shooting nonsense. It's like, bro. End of the day, just do you. Let's not celebrate fucking assassinations. I want to be clear. Throughout this video, I've been live for 1 hour and 11 minutes. I have not one time celebrated the assassination of nobody. As a matter of fact, I've talked about how political violence or gun violence in every instance is bad. I've also talked about the contradiction and how this man had a beef with empathy and how if he said empathy was bad for other people, empathy bad for him too. You see what I'm saying? Two things can be true at the same time. I can condemn and say, hey, man, somebody being popped in the middle, it's bad. But I also can point out, hey, you justified shit like this. Don't engage in straw man argumentation when you start to interpret what was put down in this live stream. If you want to disagree with me, that's fine, but disagree with shit I actually said. You feel me? If you don't refute anything, that's fine. Refute the points I actually made. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that at all, man. Folks be playing with you, you know. We don't want to be played with at all, man. He reaped the fruits, is hateful. Yeah, definitely, man. This man sowed the seeds. He planted the seeds. He watered the seeds, and the seeds, you know what I'm saying, turn into plants, and them plants put him under. You know, that's the reality. That's the reality of it. Apparently, these people don't believe Charlie Kirk means hating all white people. Auntie K, I think that nobody's talking about hating all white people. I haven't seen it at all. At all, actually. But I'm actually, man, I ain't got nothing else to say. It's 10:36. Hey, what all lives matter at? What all lives matter at? Malcolm's chickens come home to roost. Hey, yeah, chickens coming home to roost, man. That's really how I see it, man. Chickens coming home to roost. Thursday night, Wednesday nights, man, 9 p.m. Central. I feel like I'm repeating myself now. I'm actually still processing a lot of my real feelings, because if I'm being vulnerable and real with y'all, the visibility influencer content creator of me is thinking about how much dangerous it's going to be for niggas to move around with visibility that also has followings because of what happened to Charlie Kirk. Like, regardless of me thinking Charlie Kirk a piece of shit or not, the humanity in me cannot allow for me to be like, haha. You see what I'm saying? Because it's like, God damn, I think he was a piece of shit and a bad person. But me seeing life leave your body like that and getting popped in the neck like that, it just didn't sit right with my spirit. And even though I've seen all the vile, wild shit Charlie Kirk has said, it still just don't sit right in my spirit. Now, am I going to be the one to advocate and be like, guys, violence is not the answer, this, that, yeah. I'm not finna hit nobody in the head. If you want to celebrate, that's fine. That's what you're going to do. You know what I'm saying? If you want to make memes, that's fine. You do that. If you want to dance to the Charlie Kirk diss track, that's fine. You do that. I ain't trying to push nobody to mourn or celebrate over this person's life no more than what they want to do. I'm just saying for me, George, consciously, it really is just the humanity in me was like, God damn. We now live in a country where a white man can get popped in the face, get popped in the neck for having an opinion and having a violent opinion in many instances that folks don't agree with. All the amount of security wasn't going to save his life. He could have had all the amount of guns. That was not going to save his life. Somebody made the decision they was going to take him out, and they succeeded. As a matter of fact, when I see the video of him talking about how he was at this campus and that Utah bring your best libs, seeing thousands of people there and thinking like, man, the person that took him out is probably watching and getting his angle right then when he was talking about how great it was. I don't know. It's just like the human element of all this shit is just like, damn. Now, in not being light and being sensitive, Charlie Kirk probably was raising some little Eichmanns. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk probably was raising some little Nazis as well. But I'm pretty sure his little Nazis was looking forward to him coming home. You know? I made a video about Jane Crow and about how white women have always been complicit, you know what I'm saying, and being able to hold down the structure of white supremacy, especially when it comes to home. I'm pretty sure that, first I want to say, any woman that was married to Charlie Kirk, probably a bad woman as well. But I'm pretty sure that woman was looking forward to Charlie Kirk coming home, and he ain't coming home. You feel me? Like, I'm not trying to engage in no social peril shit. You feel me? I think he was a demon, you know what I'm saying, spawned out. You know what I mean? I'm not sending no flowers. I ain't got no thoughts and prayers for him, really. But I do still feel a particular way of seeing what I seen today. I accidentally played a clip during this whole shit right here. I accidentally played the shot of him being hit in the neck and seeing all the blood leave. You feel me? Like, that's just like, we so desensitized in this country. Shit bad, man. Shit is bad, y'all. Shit real bad, man. Education is elevation. Thoughts, tariffs, condolences, molences. Shit crazy, man. In conclusion, though, y'all better believe that Donald Trump and his administration will figure out some type of way to spin the tragedy of Charlie Kirk, or some of y'all, the celebratory ending of Charlie Kirk, to fuck over somebody within politics. It's just what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk definitely in hell. He wrestling with the devil right now. Him and Ronald Reagan and Henry Kissinger and all them, like, you know what I mean? That's what that is.